It's all very exciting. I found that exciting. I hope you found that exciting. Welcome to the second part of the stream. I've just taken over though. It's a full little mini Tom invasion. And we're gonna cast some games. What I'm also gonna do, supposedly, is hop into the Discord. I bet they can't all hear me though.
Okay, I will leave Tom setting up the stream,
Okay.
guys.
So
we hop into the other one, or?
But I can't hear you. How about now? Can I hear you all now? Oh well, whatever. Whatever, we'll live without.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't. You couldn't hear us earlier, but now you can hear me.
I can. It
Perfect.
looks like they're hopped into their lobbies though, which is very exciting.
Okay, so I'll leave you to everything then.
Yeah, cracking.
Nice, man. Everything's ready, so whenever you want.
Cool, right. Well,
Thanks.
thank you very much.
Cheers, man.
So it looks like the first map is going to be Sand Trap on what I believe will end up being a map that will include, I'm going to have to pull up the rules. It's been a hot minute since I looked at them. It should be starting up with finding it, handbook, sudden death, game 1. On Sand Trap. I don't think I've watched Sand Trap before. I'm imagining it to be a bit of a sandy trap. The other thing that I'm imagining is that I'm going to need to have the spectator dashboard up so I can find these lobbies. Hopefully I can find Smiley or Adonka. Spectator dashboard is an incredibly useful tool, almost as useful as our sponsors. We've got lots of sponsors. You can even type ! sponsor, I think. Yes. There you go. The Master Wallaloo bot and AoE2 Insights, one of my most used websites on the internet. You can look on AoE Insights for all of your insight needs. It'll tell you about games that players have had. You can find your ELO rating. You can find your friends' ELO rating. You can find your enemies' ELO rating. Very important stuff. Smiley, sudden death. Oh boy, lobby is live. Well, it's nice to have you here. We've already had one set today, which was won by Disaster Piece, I believe. Let's take this jacket off. Let's not pretend I've got muscles, and let's eat this very, very nice while we're waiting for it to start. Tesco's finest Belgian chocolate mousse. Pretty good. Jess says it's pretty good. I mean, I can tell her that it's a Tesco's finest. You know, when something tastes like somebody's put a little bit more effort in. It's the dark chocolate powder. That's what it is. There's a little bit of something in there. Well, what'll be a little bit of something for us is we have Good Grill, Mike, Dugai, Monk, Adonka, Smiley, and GDR Mark Landers facing up in a 3v3 death match. Well, not death match. Oh, God, I wish it was death match. I love a bit of death match. No, sudden death in a match. which will certainly do. And we have 1 minute. I mean, I can see. You can't see that there's a minute. Oh, I can also see that the chat never connected. That's quite funny. It's just a connecting to chat forever. That is interesting. Well, maybe I'll fix that one day. Not today, though. Not today. This is, shockingly, this is the first of the Golden Bough Cup games that I'm going to cast. That's shocking, because we're already at the semi-finals. You blink and you miss it. Hopefully we catch a few more this week, though. It's all been Hypnos so far. The poor man, he's having to slave away on getting everybody to behave and sign up for the games properly and stick to schedule. He's going to be grey by the end of this. I bet he will never do another 3v3 team game tournament again in his life, the poor boy. But that's okay, because we can enjoy it for him. Oh, capture age didn't load. We'll do a few things when capture all true, but that's life. Oh buddy, I feel for you, I really do. I've done a few team game tournaments before, and it's always really hard. But this seems extra hard because of well, just everything. Right, well, we don't need my face, but I tell you what, I am not getting any game sound. Are you getting any game sound? I'm not getting any game sound. Or maybe you are, and it's just me that's not. Laptop capture, monitor, and output. Yeah. Okay. I hear things. That's great. The other thing is, as much as I want to dive in, I also want it to have the correct names. So we have Mike Guy, who should be, I believe they must be Nameless. And the other one should be Diehard. Maybe I got this completely the wrong way round. Mike Duguay. I did get it the wrong way round. It's Diehard 3 and Nameless. Just to make it a little bit easier on the old eyes. There we go. And finally, we jump into a set between Diehard3 and Nameless. Diehard3 being a fantastic name for a team, I would say. Jess, do you have any opinions on the film Diehard3? She says better than Diehard 2. The second best after 1. Okay. And so Diehard 1, iconic. Okay. Soft spot for the OG, yeah. As a Christmas film. Well, I'm glad that we now know this. Hopefully, something that we get to know during this set is Mike Duguay here in the red, playing as the Mayans, and his teammate in the yellow, in the sort of pockety position, is Mark Landers, playing as the Magyars. Excellent pocket sieve. And then in the purple, we have Good Grill, playing as the Ethiopians. Then down to the sort of southeast, in the teal, or cyan, we have a donkey. I mean, they're two different colours, teal and cyan, but I'm just really bad at cyan. Let's just say teal. Let's just say teal. It's a light blue. It's a light blue. I don't know what to tell you. It's a light blue. We have a donkey playing as the Saracens, and then in the pocket in the green we have Smiley, who hopped in as a substitute player and obviously smashing it as she does. And then in the blue, we have Monk playing as the Ethiopians. Overall, Civ selection, shockingly, pretty balanced between these two teams. As we have 2 Magyars, 2 Ethiopians, a Saracens, and a Mayans. I think Saracens might be a low-key, sneaky little selection there. I wonder if we will see a bit of Saracen archer play. I believe they get the extra damage on the buildings. So maybe we're going to try and take out some buildings in the feudal age. Relatively fast feudal for most players. And housed for yellow. Nobody looking like they're dropping too far behind. Other than maybe a Donker who seems to be kind of greeding in some kind of way. Pushing in Hunt. It's a weird map. It's a very, very weird map. Loads and loads of wood round the edge, but it's not like together, so you can still end up being pretty inefficient, all things considered. And it's quite a long way away from the main TC. So everybody, not everybody seems to have moved out. So Good Grill has gone for stragglers. I would say that's stragglers, right nice and close by the TC. Only moving to gold now. And pulling in a Bough for Landers, who is dropping a barracks. Over for red, we have a 3 on gold already, but no barracks. So there's the barracks. I would say coming up pretty late. I'm feeling like it's likely to be straight into archers, so no man-at-arms or anything coming out of there, which is interesting. Monk lands in at exactly the same time, and he already has the barracks down straight away with the archery range for Monk. So I think a slightly better build for Monk than Mike, who will be a smidge delayed on that archery range. Seeing how we're having to do lots of slightly awkward pathing. We've got a Ville ready to start making it. But with only 1 villager to catch up is huge. We're already going to have 2 or 3 archers out before a single archer is going to be out for Mike. Over on the other side, barracks on the way down for Good Grill, who is that, I was going to say a little bit later than Teal, but no, Teal is actually still a donker here, still not up. So it kind of leans on how Green will support. Second archery range going to be on the way down for Mike to try and balance out that archer difference. And Mark Landers is also over with scouts already. So this is going to be a bit of a 2-on-2. Overall, it's looking like a better build for Good Grill than a Donker. Goes for the archery range as well. So it's probably going to get relatively scrappy relatively soon. Nice little engagement here for Yellow, who has the HP advantage against everything and the hill. That was a great little fight there for Mark Landers. Smiley probably did not want to be having some scout loss, and certainly not for Monk. So this actually puts, even though we had a bit of an advantage there, just by controlling the front of the map, this has given Mike plenty of time to kind of start to build up some archers unmolested. Really, really handy. Over on the other side, we're diving in. We can take the fight. The Vills should have joined in to fight this a little bit earlier. The scout should go down, but it doesn't. It escapes, and the Vill response is swift and straight away with the skirm defense. That could have gone a little bit better for Adonka, but overall, I would say that defense is solid. Fletching on the way in for Mike. Really going to start putting some pressure on with these archers. This time, it is Smiley who could probably have got the better of the engagement, especially with the backup of the archers. Now that they're split up, if they go over together, they can take the fight. It's going to be really important for Landers and Mike to group up and take these fights together. If they fight separately at any time, the armies should mop up. It's a nice little back away, but we've pulled them out. We should use that moment to surround and kill the archers. But instead, we just pull around and we've separated them. The team play between red and yellow seems a little bit better placed. I'm just saying, just a little bit. Not impossible. Over on the other side, Good Grill. Still probing attacks. Full skirm defense. Have we lost any vills yet? I kind of feel like there's been some kind of damage. But no eco. We've lost one, but nobody's killed anything. So I imagine that poor Adonka must have lost a vill to a boar or similar. And it's just a bit of nuisance. It's just a bit of nuisance, but every little bit of pain is worth it. Trying to bait those archers in. The military mass is, if I discount those villages, is only just HP-wise in favour of Monk and Smiley, but it's only just. It's so close. Everything is on taking an engagement by the hill, which does mean that this gold is super exposed. There we go. Nice little pullback from Monk. His unit control has been okay until that point, and then actually when it comes down to it, Mike gets a great little micro engagement. Green's having to dive in and take an engagement up the hill. It's not good. It's not good. Taking the fight up the hill. If yellow comes in, this should be a clear up. This should be an absolute clear up for Mark Lunders and Mike. Really good fight there. Smiley took a poor engagement. However, the micro in return for Monk really balanced that out, so that ended up not being the worst thing in the world. And I guess Mark tried to send something over this side as well to try and balance this out. I don't think Smiley's going to be able to do the same thing. We're just trying to get these walls up, but we can't. There's too many military units here. You can't do it. We're probably going to lose a vill, maybe? It's close. And we do. We lose the vill and the scout. That's actually a decent enough pick-off for Mike. This, overall, it's getting pretty scrappy. As I said it would. I mean, do you not believe me when I said it would get a little bit scrappy? 3v3's definitely hard to catch. AoE to Underground, thank you for the follow. This minute, it should have pinged up on the screen, but alert box didn't seem to want to work for me today. And as it's not my channel, I couldn't fix it easily. But there we go. Welcome to Hermetica channel. And to the interesting tournament that is going on here, the Golden Bough Cup. Game 1 is a sudden death on Sandtrap. And at the moment, I think the overall position is slightly better. Slightly for Diehard. I think Mark Lunders and Mike have teamed up really nicely. They're constantly pushing at the front, but I have to say, Monk's defense has been pretty solid. He's not received too much damage. He should be able to click up still relatively easily. He's got 15 on food. Really pumped out that food economy at the same time as defending against two players. Smiley hasn't been able to join in as much, but if we look over to the defense, because of this, we've not finished our walls for Mark. And we don't have any barrack units, and there's a hole, so we can actually have a lot of damage here for Mark. Good grill. On the way up to Castle Age before everybody else, and still putting that little bit of pressure down. So great play over this side. Nice response. And we do have a spear out. I'm expecting a second spear in the queue for Mark. But instead he's pulling back all of his military. This could be a good window to try and get some damage onto red. Military has fallen back. Castle Age on the way. So again, great solid play. You keep your mass alive. I think that's absolutely huge. Ooh, exposed vills though. Exposed vills. They're trying to track it. They're looking for it. He said they're over here, but the scouts dive in. It's not a lot of scouts though, so we shouldn't lose everything. We've got everything nearby. With this number of scouts, you can probably turn around and take the fight, especially with Mark Lunders here. The more you can keep those scouts somewhere that they will definitely die, the better. But it was a good little bit of damage there. I like the split off to try and keep some of them alive, but we're walling them in. Oh, there's a hole and they escape. That's pretty baller, actually. That's pretty baller. Oh yeah. It's not looking good for Nameless. It really isn't. Smiley at the top of the scoreboard and only Monk on the way up. A Monk who has, admittedly, he's impressed so far, but he's pushed forward, he felt comfortable, but as soon as he sees Castle Age landing in for Mike, I think he's got to start feeling pretty nervous. However, look at how quick this is going down! What in all fuckery? Like, he's Ethiopians. They're not supposed to be destroying buildings like it's going out of fashion. Has something changed in the game the last time I blinked? That's absurd. That's such a good play. It's keeping the archery range mass low. We're having to throw down even more, but we can't take... I mean, do you take the engagement now? Like, there's a bigger mass. Do you want to try and get rid of the archers before all of those upgrades come in? And we don't have enough on food. We were only able to afford bodkin. Ooh, this is getting a little scrappy. Maybe we'll be able to get better click-ups for Monk faster than Mike will. No, he doesn't. He gets crossbow as well, with a little bit of market abuse. The worry, though, yeah, the Saracen team bonus plus Ethiopian firing rate. Of course it's the frickin' Saracens. Not that the Saracens are having their best time for themselves, though. They're not destroying buildings. They're getting destroyed. We have mangonels, crossbows, and pressure coming forward. Off the back of this, I'm expecting to see people trying to maybe throw down a castle. I'm a little worried that Monkey's going to end up being 2v1. I like the split off light cav coming in as well. It's great, just spamming those light cav in. Smiley receiving plenty of damage. Oi, 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 oi. This is rough. This is rough for Smiley. Knight's coming out. She does have plenty on food, but it's just like the equivalent damage. I don't think is even. Ballistics on the way in for red as well. And all the time, Good Grill absolutely smashing it. The amount of units going down. Good value. Skirmishers popping out. Skirms. The only thing that we've got there, but we've decided we're going to take down those buildings as well. Who needs Ethiopia? Who needs the Saracen upgrade when you've got Ethiopians and a ram? And off the back of this, we could just push straight for it. Like, you've got the ram, you've got the support, and it is sudden death. If this TC goes down, they're gonna have to rush that ram. You can't let it get there. Now that Castle Age is in, though, a little bit more HP, a little bit more security for Adonka. He's probably gonna need something like a castle really darn soon, especially as Adonka's down at 32 vills. If we're looking at the vill counts, everybody's having a pretty rough time of it, except Good Grill, who's smashing it. Absolutely smashing it. Clearly the goodest of grills. Skirm Knight. It's a little misplay. We do manage to get the Mangonel. We move forward with the Skirms, but like, this isn't enough. Like, we can still push with this. At the same time, we should have enough of a military mass over here, probably, to deal with this, especially with knights in front. Oh, it's all go. Pressure on both sides. Blue is going to have to do a bit of a hard carry, but Green's had, like, Smiley's had damage, and so isn't really able to get the mass out to help. Even if they fight all together, Mark Londers should take the win. The only advantage is that Blue has the bigger mass. But it's like, if you look at it, it's a good engagement though. Taking the fight before Yellow can get in. Pushing them back. But I kind of feel like we're at the bottom of the hill, so Red should have the advantage in this, but he doesn't. Why is that? Especially with ballistics in. That should have been a way better fight, but actually it ends up being really, really scrappy. Mangonel misses, hits the Knight. That's a great fight for Monk. Monk has played that beautifully, and with Smiley's backup, that really balances this out. I think we should still be okay, though. Like, the number of knights here, like, oh, it's massy. Smiley is able to join in. This is messy. The worry is, though, will a Donker die before they can swing round and start putting in some support? I don't think we can even rage the TC, though. Ah. Oh, great. Monk doing some great work. Smiley, second armor upgrade on the way. What are we going to do for Mark Launders? How are we going to throw this in? We're just throwing out as many knights as possible forward Siege Workshop for Monk, who I think has been a proper little MVP. Getting 2v1, plenty of focus on Monk's way, but yeah, Red's going to need some support, especially because these are Saracen Ethiopian archers. The amount of damage that they do to the TC is not negligible. They are having to put some attention into repairs. But again, Monk is having to defend this 2v1, because where is Smiley? Where's Smiley's military? It's gone. I'm not seeing anything on the field. She's got 4 knights. But they're at home. So again, Monk 2v1. Defense for a Donker is just castle. We're not even going to be able to take that forward gold either. Maybe this will go to Imp. I could believe it. It shouldn't. It shouldn't go to Imp, but we've got 65 Vils on the field already, which is really nice. Oh god, it's... If Monk can kill Red, they have a chance. But it's all going to be down to if Monk can micro this. Smiley's whole job is to keep that mass alive. Wasn't quite enough. Diving in and killing that Mangonel is worth it every time. It is so important for Monk's mass to stay up. Yeah. It's good getting the little pickoffs. I'm a little concerned that Yellow isn't taking the engagement. He probably can soon. Archers still aren't the best at the old micro thing. Smiley is indeed playing. She's doing okay. Adonka is being pummeled, but here's the thing, Smiley, this is the worry. It's like Castle has come up. What can Adonka do? He's full defensive mode. He can't actually add anything in. So Purple turns around the focus and just goes to hit Smiley. That means that Blue now becomes 2-on-1. The Knights dive in and clear up everything. Great play. Good grill. Saying to everybody else, no, I am the MVP. I am the one who will swing this game in our favour. The damage is huge, and I think that puts Nameless so far behind. The Vil count is low. Smiley down at 30. It was a massive, massive raid. The military of Blue is gone, and I just don't think there's a comeback from here. Even though Mike was so close to being done. That swing round, really good. Really, really good. Imp on the way as well. This is just flexing. I think Imp, like, if you can pull off a relatively fast Imp, and I would say in Sudden Deathmatch, having Imp on the way before 40 minutes is pretty darn good. With 70 Vils as well, great play, especially because Good Grill's been putting the pressure on from the start. Hitting Imp first, pumping out 2 trebs, and then immediately just killing the TCs is huge. But even though we lost all of that army, it doesn't matter. Because killing all of Smiley's stuff was huge. In fact, we didn't even lose the army. We just killed everything that Smiley had, and then we dove round to put more pressure on. Oh, Monk, there was a hole, and all of these Vils have to run as the pressure comes in. There's no way you can do this. Dead as a doornail, and I think as soon as you see that Imp, you hit the GG. There's no way you fluke this. You need to be an Imp yourself and start making like petards or something. Russia TC. I don't think there's a chance here. It was a really nice try. I think Monk played fantastically, especially because of how much pressure they were under. But we don't get to see any TC snipes. The TCs remain up. They remain alive, as the GGs are called. It was a great first game in this set, though. Solid play from Good Grill. It was a decent enough defense from Adonka, but without the support, Adonka wasn't able to match up against Good Grill, going for clearly something that Good Grill is pretty comfortable on. Really nice build, really nice everything. Very, very impressive for this level of play. I think because this is red, nobody in this should be above 1500. Yeah, so Monk should be 1585, Smiley's 1370, Adonka's 1133, Micadai is 1200, and Good Grill is 1260. So the fact that Good Grill absolutely decimated as well as they did is huge, because Good Grill genuinely came out looking like probably the best player in the server. Well, I don't know about that. I think Monk did, really. But Good Grill carried the team at that point. Like, the swing round from hitting Adonka to hit the side of Smiley's base was absolutely huge. Real nice. Great. Okay, we can probably hop back to my face, I guess, while we get the next one. Oh, my hotkeys aren't working. Oh, that's well, we'll live. And let's say that it's 1-0 for Diehards, who did not die hard. They didn't die at all. They stayed perfectly alive. Solid play. Solid play. And that means that we will go into game number 2. So, they are banning melee, and this time it's going to be Regicide on Canberra. It's free free pick on civs, no repeats, including civs chosen by team players. So losing team of game 1 has a ban to reveal in Chat Cup, and the ban is melee. So, what is Canberra? It is... Oh, I know what Canberra is. It's a sort of like a arena-ish map with the central pond, and you can use water to get in. Cannon Galleons can be pretty effective if you manage to control the water, because you can snipe TCs. Okay, yeah, no, I know. I know where we're at. I'm an understanding man. And I need to look for our new sudden death lobby, but it's not sudden death. I hope they don't do sudden death, because this time it is Regicide. Fish tile worth 30,000 in the centre. Yeah, I vaguely remember something like that. I don't know if I would prefer this, Jess, if it was just milk chocolate instead of like I mean, they're like, what makes it Belgian? Because I bet it wasn't made in Belgium. I bet it was made in Swindon. You know? I mean, it's got 25% dark chocolate. You can tell it. But what makes it Belgian? I'm trying to see where it were made. It doesn't say, does it? It's full of lies. Well. Oh. You're having pasta with pesto. I mean, I just had pasta as well. It wasn't with pesto, because that's what I would make for myself, because I'm a lazy piece of shit. But Jess always goes hard on making a sauce. She's like, no, we're going to have sauce and cheese, and I'm going to put vegetables in it, and you're going to be healthy. And I'm very grateful that I've got a human being who looks after me, because otherwise I'd be, I don't know, fatter or thinner One of the two. I would either be fatter or thinner. I definitely wouldn't be. Definitely wouldn't be the same size. I mean, it's good enough, isn't it? Oh. Well, we're still waiting for the game to go live. Somebody must have hopped on for a break. Because the game hasn't even hit yet. Poor Adonka, though. Probably needed a little bit more support in that last game. Maybe if Smiley and Adonka had swung round and 2v1'd purple instead of backing up blue, who kind of seemed like they were okay on their own defense-wise. They might not have been able to push, but the defense was pretty strong. It would have forced yellow to have to try and help purple instead. And I think, judging by how well it was playing, I think blue might have had Mike in the 1v1. I'm feeling it. Like there was a vibe there. Well, I'm also feeling, thankfully, that they've gone live. Fantastic. So, I mean, you can see it if you want. It's just the old countdown. We have Good Grill playing as Spanish. We have Mark Londas playing as Turks. We have Mike Dugai playing as the Persians. Adonka as the Byzantines. Monk as the Bohemians. And Smiley as the Spanish. 2 Spanish picks. Good Grill. Definitely showing some aggression so far. Turks is an interesting pick themselves. I wonder... It's like, is this going to be Fast Castle Conks and Fast Castle? If I was the Turks, do we go that way or do we go into our light cav line? Persian's gonna Persian. I tell you what, they're not gonna do. First person to try and do a Persian. Oh, it's not sudden death anymore. It's regicide. You could douche. Douching now available again for the Persians. Will we have Cam during game 2? No, I won't do Cam during the games. Cam's for in between. I like the focus to be on the gameplay for the tournaments. And that way, I can pick my nose and like, I don't know. I don't really do anything else gross. Stare into the void without anybody noticing. Well, let's notice this instead, though. It is time for us to hit number 2, Numero Dux, between Diehard and Nameless. We have in the red, Good Grill, who is okay, Good Grill, you're going back to purple. Mark, you're going back to yellow. And Mike, you're going back to red. Because that's what you were last time. Adonka, you're going to teal. Monk, you're blue. And Smiley, you are green. Because that is what I got familiar with seeing you all as last time. And so let's keep let's keep my sanity. We have Good Grill here in the purple, playing as the Spanish, pulling in her first ball, facing up this time against... Oh, no, this time Good Grill in the pocket, right? So we got Mark Launders up against Mike. pocket for Monk, who seems like potentially the stronger player. This time as the Bohemian, so a genuine threat if we get into Imp and start pumping out them Hofnitzer. And Smiley in the green as the Spanish. Not necessarily a Knights and Send It Civ, but Con can send it perfectly effective. And Adonka has gone straight away for the fishing ship. Forward fishing ship as well. Wonder if he'll be able to keep that. Current prize pool up at 255 euros. Split between, that's not for whoever wins, that's split between all of the winners of all of the different brackets. I don't know what that will end up working, because there's 3 different brackets, so it's 255 euros split between 3. And then that 3 is split between the 3 players. It's like a prize pool of about 15 euros each. 3 divisions, 3 winners, times 3. Because 3 players. Oi. It's nice that there is a prize pool. It will diminish quick. So, Mike has garrisoned his Mike and Good Grill and Smiley all garrisoning nice and quick. Mark Launders, who is taken his time to use it to scout. I like doing a little bit of scouting. I think a little bit of scouting is good. I do think it is a little risky to leave your poor king hidden out the front. Like, imagine if somebody spotted it, right? Immediately sent a Vil forward and then quick walled it in. Right? Like, this is in the perfect place for a quick wall. It's just like, Vil stands here, wall, king's trapped. Like, oh, God. I don't think that's going to happen. But it might die to a scout. Like, this might be an MBL moment. Be aware, everybody, of the potential for an MBL moment. Mark Launder's doing a little bit of forward scouting as well. And again, Adonka's managed to get plenty of value from these centre docks. Nobody else looking like they are throwing docks down. Which is interesting. Especially because everybody gets ash or fish. Like, you can make use of that. Adonka really trying to lock down on that control, scout it out forward, making sure that nobody else has got this. I think there's some value here. I have to say I like the position for Landers' castle. Like, that's at least in a relatively useful spot for defending from any water play. But it's not going to be the water that he's going to be worrying about, is it? He's going to be worrying about Monk coming through and just busting right in. Well, I think we're pretty much at peak saturation for the for the fish. It's not the most efficient thing. It might be if there was a dock over on this side. It's also going to be incredibly hard to push Adonka off. I guess as the Byzantine player, it was already going to be pretty hard to push Adonka off. Castle Age on the way in. So fast for Mark, though. Holy moly. Such a speedy, fast castle. And so we're going to be straight into Janissaries. Right? Like, market, blacksmith, Janissary, and hope that you can get in on a snipe. But everybody's dived in pretty safe. So, what do you do? How many? It's like, there's those Janissaries. I guess if you're just going straight for the kill, that's something. And killing off the Bohemians before they manage to get into a solid position is great. Mike also going to be hitting Castle Age. Now, what is Mike going to do as the Persians, though? Do you just go as the supportive element as the Persians? Do you just be the person that goes siege to try and push any of the buildings? Maybe. I'm not expecting castles. We're not got... It's like second TC, so booming? Interesting. I just don't know what they're going to go for. I don't know at all. Monk will hit Castle Age soon. Smiley also going to hit Castle Age, but it's a pretty significant advantage, I have to say, for Mark and Mike. Mike, who will boom, and Mark, who will pressure. And I have to say, because of the castle placement for Monk, quite a lot of this economy is very, very exposed. It might genuinely be worth, like, stonewalling, like, across. Like, getting every vill and just doing stonewall. It's a bit late now because the Janissaries are in, and pressure can arrive. Little poxy palisade walls probably not going to stop the Janissaries. They shred. But the defense isn't too bad. But we are receiving damage. So, over on this side, we are diving in with our fire galleys, which can't really achieve a huge amount other than maybe killing a blacksmith, as the conks come over, and the conks can just, I guess, slowly chip away at the fire galleys. Fire galleys is an interesting choice when you've scouted out that nobody's going for anything here. It may be worth going for some galleys, actually. Just getting some galleys on the field. The worry is, though, that Adonke has, like, this is all of his farming eco, and I think everybody else is doing pretty much just as well. Hussite wagons, I don't think are that brilliant against Janissaries. I could be wrong. I think the Janissaries have high enough damage output that they don't need to worry too much. Like, they've got loads of HP, but I think the high damage output of the Janissaries mean that even though they've got 7, they're still doing 10 damage per shot. So, like, in groups, they can still do really good damage. Over on this side, conks come running over, but it should still be fine because this is a conk v conk fight, and Good Grill has shown us already that Good Grill knows how to scrap with the best of them. Especially if we get baited into the TC fire, and if we go for the shot on this villager, Purple could engage. That's quite funny. She's a fucking chameleon. Nobody can see that she runs. She gets away. That is crazy. Respect to that villager. She should have been dead every single day of the week. Love it. At the same time, it kind of looks like this is the only bit of aggression going on right now, is Smiley up in Good Grill's base. Imp on the way in for Adonka. Oh, my word. Byzantine fast imp. It is cheaper. They do imp so well. But, I mean, you've already come this way. You know there's a castle there. What are we doing? So we're University. Monk going to try, and Monk's down at 29 bills. That's grim. That's grim. See, look, Janissaries do absolutely fine. University denied. Siege Workshop denied. We're not clicking up anytime soon. Monk in absolute shambles. Maybe Adonk is going to lose most of his fishing eco. Yeah. That was a great little play from Mike, who is leaning heavy into getting back onto water. I mean, up against the Byzantines is, I mean, it's a choice, isn't it? It's a choice. Smiley probably getting slightly better of the engagement up against Good Grill this time, but Good Grill is on 3 TC expansion. Smiley looks like they are only on 2. And 2 castles, we're super safe. Good Grill might be the lowest score on their team, but not by much. I think this is absolutely fine. Mark Launders has managed to do an okay job, even though staying on 1 TC, it's just about the pressure, and I think he's done enough to, because he's like really stopped Monk from managing to get any kind of eco rolling at all. Monk is in Imp, is getting chemistry, but nice. But like, yeah, this could be beautiful. This could be a moment. It's the moment that I've been waiting for. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Boom! And it is indeed very, very beautiful. Turns out clumping up all of your boats by a dock is a risk. Having your entire economy be propped up by the snappers also is a bit of a risk. Micadai on the way to Imp as well, so 2 players in Imp versus currently none player in Imp. But the pressure is there. Oof. Okay. Okay. I mean, as I'm saying, none. It's 2 players in him versus 2 players who are about to hit him, so that's still fine. Next demo should we? Oh, Drummond. Okay, Drummond ranges the castle. Getting rid of that castle will be huge. Demo pops up. Boom. There goes that fishing eco. And instead, Demo ship is moving round to get the drum on. Lovely team play there. They do not want it to be easy. Adonka really is going to have to try and lock down the middle with some galleys. Ooh, the demo wasn't enough though. Drummond is still alive. Castle having to be repaired. Scary, scary, scary. Fire ship comes forward versus the fast fire of Adonka. But the regular fire is just going to run away. You can put a gate here, right? Like, you can build on the shallows. And if you can build on the shallows, you can gate that, right? That's gateable. Or am I wrong? If it's not gateable, then I'm happy. I'm happy to be wrong. Drummond going to get pushed in. Fast fire versus regular fire. More Drummonds will be needed, but instead we're pumping out fishing ships. I mean, I don't love the fishing ship. Heavy demo on the way in, which I do love. Heavy demo is a thing I am fond of. I'd be more fond of this castle being forward though. Like, castle here would be great because it locks off these 2 areas. I think this is maybe a little bit too defensive. Bombard cannons versus bombard cannons is good. Artillery is in. Get me some of that extra range. 12 plus 2 on those bombards. Okay, over this side. Smiley still pressuring, and not really up to any significant mass. Has at least got some TCs down. If we're looking at Vil counts though, pretty even overall. I mean, Good Grill maybe slightly lower, but I think we've probably had quite a chunk of idle time from Good Grill compared to everybody else. Yeah, there we go, 24 minutes, which is quite a lot. Quite a lot out of Mike as well, actually. 21 minutes of idle time. But has managed to get to 75 bills. It is the highest on the team. But what are we going to do off the back of this? How far away is Smiley from getting that click up? I believe we banned people from slinging resources until they hit Imp. Smiley should be clicking up now, actually, right this second. Go up. And there's Imp in for Smiley. Mike trying to run around and put a little bit of damage in. He is definitely vulnerable. Look at those artillery bombard cannons. The range on them is absolutely insane. And with the dive in, oh, they are not Hofnitzer yet. And the Cavalier come diving in. It's not skirms that we need right now. It's something else. Trying to protect them. Trying to send over Vils to get the repairs. But these bombards should go down. There's no fletching in. The damage from the castle is negligible. The TC goes down. The artillery play from Mark Landers is doing everything. It's doing everything. And the Drummond is not enough. And again, we've gone for fast fires, but we have heavy demos prepped. One heavy demo will do great damage over here, and I think that Good Grill and Mark Landers and Mike, our Diehard3, definitely looked like they were being pressured in the early game, but right now, I think the artillery bombard Janissary play is doing everything it needs to up against Monk. Monk is going to have to run his king away and go for a later kind of defense. We are definitely leaning in. I really need to see more Dromons. Where's the king? Where's the king? King's ran to the back, so we are exposed. If we just went running for it, I wonder if Mark will notice that his king has decamped and run out. Dromons out. Dromons have probably come this way. Got to try and stop this push in on Smiley. But this will allow the heavy demo to come out and do some damage. I just think they've got every position. Like, there's no answer to the artillery bombard cannons. If we had Hofnitzer, maybe. But as it stands, ooh boy. All it takes is one little misplay and you die. Just the numbers. 4 artillery bombard cannons now. That extra range putting in work. As soon as we get siege engineers as well, it's going to be extra deadly. Good Grill, Mark Landers and Mike looking super strong. Smiley, Monk and Adonka not really able to pull anything out of the bag. Adonka is up 125 Vils. He has the Vil advantage, but he's not actually being able to add anything particularly useful in. Because he's about to lose water control to the heavy demos. Dromons isn't enough to add anything in. And we shouldn't... Oh, sneeze. We shouldn't even be able to stop this push. Trebs might get the castle. Might. But they go down. Lack of fletching for everybody. Second armor upgrade only just on the way in. But that's... I don't think second armor upgrade affects... I think Conks get the archer armor class line. Because they're counted like a cav archer unit. All of those trebs going down to the cavalier as well. This is a great push on both sides. Just the pressure. Adonka isn't even going to know where he needs to go to help. And he's going to lose a significant portion of his economy over here. And I just think that the spread out and control has been just beautiful. It's not been heavy eco. Like, Mark Landers is still doing all of this off 56 Vils. I don't think he's had a TC for ages. He's like, I don't need a TC. TCs are overrated. I've got a castle, I've got a push, and I've got bombards. Like, that's it. That's the only thing he needs. Bombards and Janissaries. There's nothing on the field to counter that. Absolutely love it. He's not going to make another Vil for the rest of the game. Conks pressuring. Everybody's king is having to come and hide with Adonka, who is going to have to carry. But is he going to be able to when everything is getting absolutely mopped up by Microdite? Who has the control? Heavy demo, showing how much it's worth it. Savar on the way in. Mike's eco is just that good, and the position is just not that there for Nameless. Oh, so gutting. I had it in. I so had it in for this to go to a game 3. It looked in the early game like Adonka, Smiley and Monk had a great position for this. But those earlier imp times and the damage, particularly the damage onto Mike by the early castle pressure from Mark Landers, was fantastic. Mark Landers MVP. It's a nice little dive in for Elite Cataphracts, who do kill all of the rockets there. Maybe there's something here. Adonka does have the score lead. He does have a great everything, and Mark Landers does have nothing now. So maybe he's like, oh shit, they're not dead. Thrown down 2 TCs. Throwing down another castle. Gonna lean in for the long game. I still don't think it's enough. I still think Smiley's dead, but maybe Adonka's got something to speak about. Maybe he is going to swing this back. It's going to have to be a pretty massive hard carry. Smiley is going to have to hold pretty much 2v1 while Adonka dives through and kills Mark Landers completely off. If Mike Landers is gone, if Mike Landers is wiped from the game, maybe there is a chance, but this is a chance that is slipping further and further away. Smiley down to 50 vils, 21 units on the field as well. The defense is tough, especially when there are 5 trebs on the field. Pressuring these castles, they will go down so fast. It doesn't matter how fast a Spanish vil can build a castle, if the Spanish trebs can tear them down even faster. So great play from Good Grill. Trying to regain the water, but all it's going to take is those heavy demos. We're trying to put some pressure in, but I just don't think that there is a way. I just don't. I think it's looking comfy. I think Good Grill has done enough to support their side. The Savars dive in on Adonka. How many units, Vils, are we going to lose? None, because again, we at least have a bracer now, and so, you know, we do some damage, but these Savar are just so tanky. 4+4, so 8 pierce armor on these Savar. Wow. It's going to take something. We also have cannon galleons out that are going to poke down all of these castles around the front. We should have complete water control for red. Mike, who's played this really well with the Savar, putting some pressure on as well. I just think this is a bit brutal. Adonka's not in a position where he's able to carry, and if it comes down to a fight, the Elite Cataphracts do not beat a Savar, right? The Savars got the they got the stats, right? (12+2) versus 14+4. More HP on the Savar as well. Only thing that the Cataphracts are better at doing is fighting Halb. And who really cares about Halb when the castles go down and the trebs come running in? Where are the kings? Kings are on the run. Blue and green. Everybody having to hide in, I imagine, Blue's base. Teal running forwards. Risky play considering yellow's right there. Oh god. He's going for an aggressive play. This is oh no. GG, well played. Adonka sends his king forward to his death. That could easily have been deliberate. Really, they had no position. The game was well and truly over. So well played by Diehard. The Diehard3 again did not die hard. It was hard for them to die. They played this set beautifully. If we have a quick glance at some statistics. Military lead for Mike. Monk never really managed to get anything going. He just got punished so hard so early. Went for that fast imp play and it was just left him so vulnerable. KD of 2.89, 161 kills for Mike. And poor Monk lost everything. And considering Monk was such an important carry for how well they managed to do in game 1, losing Mike, I think, put them in a in a really rough spot. I wasn't a huge fan of a Donker going for fast fires in the middle. When he got up to the mass that he had, it's like 4 or 5 fast fires, and then you put some galleys behind it. Then I'm feeling something. If you're going for water control that way, or having some like heavy demos of your own or demos of your own, just to try and deal with it. But fires en masse, when you're trying to do water control, it's so easy for other people to get back on water around that. So, rough. Nameless, unfortunately, is out of the tournament. Diehard goes through to the semi-final. I thought this was the semi-final. Oh, this was losers round 1. I see. That makes more sense. So, it puts the Diehard3 up against the winners, the losers of the last set. So Diehard3 up against Cataphracts, right? Yeah. Okay. To find who will face up against Disaster Piece. And that's interesting because Cataphracts looked pretty good in the set that you just cast. But actually, this is a repeat, isn't it? Diehard3, they faced up against each other in round 1, and it was a 2-1. It was a relatively close set. So, will it be a repeat, or have the Diehard3 learned something? I mean, they looked pretty